Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today is 3 steps on how to improve in Valorant. So guys, first things first is we're going to go into practice. We're going to enter the practice range, and this will be your first step on how to improve in Valorant. You should always enter the practice range before searching for competitive ranked matches, just to get a bit of a warm-up. Some people like playing deathmatch and stuff, but I think practice range is more than what you need to warm up and as well as practice for future games and everything, because I like to think about my warm-ups as my practice sessions. I usually sit in the practice range for about an hour. But yeah, so the first thing I do is I will click on practice and the bot will spawn in, and I'll switch to a sheriff and I'll go to a pillar on the side to practice my side strafing. You know, quick peeking around corners with the sheriff to get those one taps. That's what I'll practice. What this does is it makes me more confident and makes me trust myself more with my aiming decisions and my shooting decisions. It just builds up that confidence to like move left and right and hit them, because the bots are strafing. By the way, you should turn on bot armor and the bot strafe and everything. Just turn on everything. Yeah, so you do a bit of this and you get comfortable, and that's the first step to the practice. I'm just showing you guys my routine so you guys have something to go off of. You guys could make stuff up on your own. Like, you could pick Jet, and this building I'm under, you can actually get in there if you jump on there, and you can get to the windows and you can shoot out the windows, and you could try something like that. But anyway, on to the next part of training. So for the next part of training, I like to go to the pillar behind the bots and get behind them. And this drill, I always say the key to this drill is not to be able to shoot the bots quick because they're close to you. It's about being able to track their movements, and it's more accuracy instead of how many you can kill at how fast you can kill them. You should just be worrying about tracking their heads and keeping consistent in hitting them, and try not to miss shots at all. Try to be consistent and not miss any shots. And even if you have to go a bit slower, start slow and you'll eventually work your way up to quicker speeds. You just need to start at the speed you're good with and work from there. Always get your consistency going before you try to hop to new things. You got to be consistent at a slow speed to be consistent at a fast speed. Okay, so then I switch from the sheriff to a vandal, and what this does is I just practice one tapping with the assault rifle. Same thing, start slow. Same thing with the sheriff. It's all about the tracking and keeping with the head movements. If you're struggling, just slow down. It doesn't matter how long it takes you. You just need to get that flow of following the movements, and you need to get used to just not missing any bullets and just following everything and flowing nicely. And then from the vandal, I usually switch to a classic, which then I practice 2-tapping, because classic you have to 2-tap when people have armor. I usually just practice my 2-tapping and try to do it as quick as I can. This is just to practice tapping fast if you're not really good at tapping fast. So this is also just to remind myself that I always have to 2-tap in the head with the classic. And it's just a little drill. You don't have to do this one. I just do it for personal preference. So on to the next part of the practice session. I take the vandal and I go back to the front by the interface. I put it on the speed easy and everything enabled, infinite armor, bot armor, and that's how I start. Once you can get 20 plus score on easy, you can move on to medium. But what I do is I usually start on easy just to work myself up. I just get the feeling, because the point of easy is not to kill them fast, it's to work on your aim and your snapping onto things and you're moving to people. It's more of a casual movement towards the person's body, which then it trains your body to be able to snap in the future. So it's like I said, guys, you start slow to get to work your way to faster speeds. That's just how it is. You have to start slow to get to the faster speeds. So now guys, I switch it to the medium difficulty and I start the test. And this basically what you're trying to do here is if you're first starting on the medium difficulty for the first time, you'll notice how much quicker it is compared to slow. But what I do advise is if you can pass 15 score on the medium difficulty and it is your first time, you should do it a few more times, see which can make your highest, but don't spend too much time in here trying to get past, like trying to get to 20, because I advise usually getting past 20 then jumping into a game, but that's if you can reach 20. I would say the minimum you should be able to reach is 15, and then you should be warmed up enough to jump into a game, but don't expect it to wake you up in a game, because games can be a lot more fast, a lot more slow. It just depends on the situation. But as you can see, I get to 19 score and I decide, okay, let's hop into a match. So let's get looking at how I perform in the match. Step 2, acknowledge your mistakes. We are in the first game that I played of the day after the warm-up session, and it was a difficult match. I was in a high plat lobby with a few golds, high gold lobby, low plat lobby. But I wanted to just show you one of the mistakes that I did acknowledge of myself during the game. I acknowledge this mistake that I made is when I killed Sova and I had 4 bullets left in the clip, and I reloaded when I did hear Sage coming. I heard Sage coming and I still reloaded nonetheless because I thought I was out of bullets, but I still had 4 bullets, and all it takes is 2 in the head, and 4 bullets, if I hit all 4, would have been enough to kill Sage. But that's another thing. Let's move on to the next clip where we see another mistake that I realize. Here guys, at the start of this round, here's another mistake I acknowledged right after it happened. This is the mistake of just not being aware at times and not always looking at your screen, looking at the minimap, looking at other things, not paying attention. If I was looking at my screen, I would have killed that brimstone right there. You see, you could clearly see I wasn't looking at my screen, I wasn't paying attention. But yeah, that is an easy mistake to make, and that is made a lot of the time. And just acknowledging your mistakes in general while you're playing the game, guys, can make you so much of a better person, so you don't end up doing those things again and again and again, and you don't create habits out of them. Step 3, don't peek unnecessarily. Yeah guys, so unnecessarily peeking. In this clip I'm showing on screen, Phoenix on my team unnecessarily peeked and died for no reason at all. His first peek was good, but his second peek he didn't have to make. They could have just played time and waited for them to sandwich the attacker, but luckily Reina clutched it up. But at the end of the day, Phoenix did not have to peek that, and he should have just waited and waited for the Reina to push, and they could have both peeked her at the same time. The Reina was at the disadvantage, had to defuse the bomb, had to push onto site. Taking out Phoenix was such an easy kill for Reina, and then it became a 1v1, which was very dangerous when it should have been a 2v1, and likely Reina wouldn't have pushed and time would have ran out or something like that. But that round shouldn't have come that close, because that was unnecessary peeking. And those are one of the things you guys need to acknowledge on your own part. You need to know when to peek and when not to peek. And when you have planted the bomb, there is no need to peek the enemy. You should just be holding strong angles and waiting for the enemy to come to you. But yeah guys, that's 3 easy steps on how to improve your game on Valorant. So guys, that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that like button if you did enjoy. Comment down below what you thought was the most helpful tip. And subscribe if you guys enjoy this content and want to see more content like this. See you guys in the next one. Peace.
I try to be everything that I can, but sometimes I come out as being nothing. I try to be everything that I can, but sometimes I come out as being nothing.